Hey guys, how's it going today? All right, it's the afternoon, 1 o'clock, and I'm wanting some tea. So, chai. This is chai, not a chai latte. This is chai. So, I've got a mug, and I'm not going to measure because here's the mug. Unless you really want me to measure, then of course I'm going to measure it for you. Let's get 1 cup here, and I'm going to add this into my little pot. That's 1 cup, and that's almost 3/4. Okay, the reason I've got so much water here with that is I'm gonna let it simmer. So I'm gonna turn on the heat, turn the heat on, allow it to simmer, and in the meantime what I'm gonna do here is, yes, I have my own little spice container. So depending on the mood, it could be just fennel and cardamom. You know, those are the easy to go to. And then sometimes what I'll do is add a few cloves. And then this is the brown cardamom. It's the bigger one. It's got a different flavor than the green one. Cinnamon sticks. And I got ajwain. And it escapes me what that is. And this is kind of like a licorice powder. So if you're trying to cut back on sugar, this is the thing to go to. So basically it's little sticks like this, right? They're little sticks like this. And I roast them just a bit. And then of course I grind them up a bit. Or sometimes you can just get the powder. But I like doing my own. And then it gives the tea the sweetness. All right, so today I'm gonna take, I think this is about a teaspoon of fennel. And I am gonna put in 2 cardamom, because I'm also gonna put the brown cardamom in. And I'm going to put, let's see here, they're tiny cloves. I'm gonna put a little bit of those in there. And cinnamon. So I've got this much cinnamon. Cinnamon bark, right? So if you want, you've got cinnamon powder, put cinnamon powder in there. And if you've got clove powder, put the clove powder in there instead. And I'm going to put this ajwain in here as well. It's good for digestion, so I usually put it in. And this one I don't need to beat up with the mortar. Pesto. And it's just going to start to bubble. So I'm just going to add that guy in there. And it's nice when you add it when it's already hot, the water. And then it just opens up, I think, all the flavors that are in these spices. Don't take sugar. So that'll actually make this sweeter than I normally have it. So I'm going to grind it up, break it up a little bit. As I always say, I wish you guys could smell this. So just breaking everything up a little bit and throwing it in here. A little cinnamon tried to escape me, of course. You get in there, buddy. All right, so we're gonna let it simmer. And you can let it simmer for a few minutes. And I've got open black tea. And then I've got this measuring. I like my tea to be a little bit strong, the first cup I have of the day. And this is, how much is it saying? This is 2 teaspoons, right? Now I should actually wait for all this to kind of simmer for a little bit, but then I also like my tea to be simmering at the same time. So this tea, actually, I've put some basil in there too. And so it's got a little bit of green stuff in there, and that's basil. So that's 1, maybe it'll be a tablespoon at the end of this. Yeah, a tablespoon. So it'll make it nice and strong for me. All right, let that simmer. While it's simmering its stuff here, I'm going to grab the milk. So I have usually either 2% milk in the house, or nowadays, because the little kitties are always around, I've got homogenized milk. And as we're measuring everything out, and this is going to be a nice milky chai, I'm going to add 1 and maybe a little bit more to the tea. So we're going to let it simmer. I'm going to pause you for a second. All right, it's simmered for a couple of minutes. I'm going to add the milk, and that's a cup. I'm going to add maybe a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And the color is beautiful. I don't mind the color. One and a half, just about the same amount as water. I've added milk, and that's only because I like it a little bit richer, thicker. And of course, some people don't like it with so much milk in there, but I actually like it. So that's my chai that I enjoy, and yeah. So give it a whirl. And now we're going to allow it to simmer and boil up, and then simmer for a couple of minutes, so that all that milk and the water and the spices have just kind of blended in to make it that richer chai that I enjoy. You know what? Sometimes you just make it simple. And if you have digestion issues, I would like put fennel and ajourane and cardamom. Like I would fill this type of a pot up and say 4 cups, the other cups of water or more into it, and let it simmer and simmer down, and then drink that slowly, just like a green tea. And so I do that as well. And my daughter, of course, loves that. She doesn't do tea, but she will do, we call it the sonf water. Sonf is the fennel. It's easy. You know, these are like easy things that you have in the house, and quickly you can make it. Yes, it's a little process, but you make it to your taste. It's starting to come up, and at this point I would turn the heat down a little bit and allow it to simmer. And boil. Thank God for gas stoves. Electric stoves, you would have to remove this off of the stove, because if you don't, it's just going to boil right over. Even on these stoves, I've had so many accidents. I go for a second to do something, and all of a sudden it just overflows. Yeah. All right. So from here, I know I'm not simmering it for long enough, but you can simmer it for 2-3 minutes. Next step is that we're going to pour it into the mug. Let's move this up just a touch. Move the milk. And then, you know what? I use a frother. Frother is the best thing ever. And you're going to have a sieve or one of these. This is for a little strainer. I won't say the company because I'm not sponsored by anybody. So basically we are going to just pour this in here, and halfway up, All right, so we can use the frother. The reason I use the frother is so that I don't get that milk skim on top. I really don't enjoy that. So this also adds air, so I don't have to sieve the tea back and forth to get these air bubbles into it. Look at that. See? Me and my bubbles. All right, let's add the rest of the tea. Is that not a beautiful thing? Yeah, you could sprinkle some cinnamon on top. If you wanted to just give it that another extra nudge up there. And there you go. And this is our cup of chai. Cheers. Enjoy. Have fun making it. You know what, my mom, sorry, I'm going off cue here. My mom also loves putting mint in her tea. So again, it's the whole process, but dry mint or fresh mint as well. Me personally, that's not one of the tastes I enjoy. So I enjoy this with everything in there. All right. I will get the name for Ajwan as soon as I figure it out.